So, and then of course when you want to get out, okay, of your house, and then you need to dress properly, okay, and then you have accommodation. Regardless whether you are rich or poor or in the middle class people, okay, you still need an accommodation, okay. Maybe you bought your own house, or you rent your house, or you rent a hostel or a room, okay, still is considered as accommodation. So that's why everyone should have accommodation. Otherwise, you will be homeless, right? So this accommodation, your house, your home will provide security to you. Okay, we will protect you from the harsh weather condition like thunderstorm, right? Heavy rains and bright sunshine. So those are example of the basic thing that every human needs in this world. Okay, they need all this every day. Okay, and so but then often these things are influenced by your environments lah. Okay, for example, it usually influenced by the culture and social upbringing. Okay, the way you are raised by your family, your the people around you, and then your personality and also the religion in that area. Okay, for example, food. Okay, it is influenced by our culture. Okay, because and our environment, our what we call the climate. Okay, because we are in a rainforest, we can plant rice, right? We have paddy field, we have we can plant banana, right? Watermelon, and then we have mangosteen, rambutan. So all those things, all these trees or plants are not available everywhere. Okay, it only available in certain area or certain uh, country lah. Okay, so that is why lah. Uh, the environment will influence the way we eat and the way we drink. Okay, if you compare to the Western country or from the US lah, okay, so they prefer to eat bread, okay, or wheat as the staple food. So it's different from us because in their places, in their country, they cannot. Maybe the conditions, the weather condition is not suitable to be planted paddy field. Okay, so that is why lah they have another source of food. Okay, and then social upbringing, the way you raised lah by your family. Maybe if you guys are from a rich people, okay, rich family, so maybe you have a better clothing. Okay, maybe you eat more healthier food, right? You eat food something that is less in fat, less in cholesterol, okay, because you have someone who can monitor the food intake that you take lah. Okay, that is the example. And then religion. Okay, for example, in Malaysia, because almost half of the Malaysians are Muslim, right? So of course, every brand when they want to introduce their product, when they want to sell their product in our country, so they have to make sure that the product is certified by JAKIM, or they have to make sure that the packaging contain the halal certificate, right? So that it is safer to sell the product in supermarket. Okay, because when the product is certified as halal, so every Malaysian lah can eat that food, right? So that is how our religion affect how business do or they produce their product. Okay, so that is the example. Okay, but then that is the thing that we talk about, is about the consumer needs, right? But then another thing that we have is a group of product that is classified under the consumer wants. Okay, the difference is that the consumer need is something that everyone needs, okay, regardless whether he's rich or not, okay, whether he's is a student or he's if that is your parent or not, okay, everyone need the consumer needs. Okay, the product that is classified under consumer need. But then if we talk about the consumer wants, so it means that a product that is not everyone can afford to buy. Okay, not everyone should have this thing lah. It's not a necessity product. It's more like something that you buy in order to fulfill your desire, to fulfill your want, to satisfy yourself. Okay, for example, okay, when we talk about a handphone lah, or smartphone, okay, we have a smartphone. regardless of the brand or regardless of the price of your smartphone, as long as it can communicate between two people. Okay, you can browse to the internet. You can use that in order to attend online class, right? You can watch YouTube, and then you can chat with your friend through Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and also Telegram, right? And even TikTok, bro. So as long as you have a smartphone, then it will do the same thing as a phone. Students, some people have more than one smartphone. Okay, depends on your budget and also your one lah. Okay, sorry, your the way you use your smartphone. Okay, maybe some people need more than two smartphone. Okay, so if you compare the one, okay, now we look at the latest iPhone. Okay, just ignore the 12 lah. So this is actually now we are in 2021, so we already have the iPhone 13 Pro Max, right? Some people, some of your friends, they might want to buy iPhone 13 Pro Max because that is an expensive iPhone, right? And not everyone can afford to buy it. So that is why lah, you, if possible, okay, you want that iPhone because when you get it, when you can acquire it, so it can bring meaning to you. Okay, it can satisfy your desire. It can make you different compared to your friend, compared to your colleague, compared to the people lah. Okay, okay, because of the brand, because of the perception of people. Okay, so that is the difference between need and want. Okay, another example is a car. Okay, every family, I believe, they should have at least one car, right? One a transportation that can customer by promoting product to the wrong customer. Contohnya kan, okay, let's say if you produce, if you become a founder of cosmetic product and then you promote your product to children or a man, okay, so salah kan, macam dah lari dah, so it's not fit, it doesn't fit the main purpose of you doing the marketing, whereby you sell or you promote your product to men, a group of men, because a group of men won't buy your product because they didn't use cosmetic. So that's why you have to sell your product to to woman, a group of women. So that example. And then you want to reduce the cost and also efforts, okay, because when you do the marketing, when you promote your product, of course lah, it will involve cost because you have to pay to the social media platform, you have to pay to the television, okay, and then the the work that you do, it involve effort. So that's why lah, we want to avoid all this mistake. Okay, this is an example of target market. So you can see here, the target market is for the mungkin beli, tapi maybe for other people. Okay, for dah apalah, you target customer will be those with obesity, not those who already have stable BMI or good BMI, right? But so what's the point of them using your product, because they already have ideal weight, okay? And then your target market, okay, your target market can be classified under demographic factors such as then a group of men only. Okay, and then it can also be classified into a group of women only. Okay, that is example how company, okay, when they want to promote their product, so when they produce the product, they will classify based on women, men, and also children. Okay. So important of identifying target market. Why it is important for us to identify the target market? Because it is impossible to satisfy the need and want of entire population. Okay, macam Malaysia kan. Let's say now we are in 2021. Okay, I believe our around 32 million, if I'm not mistaken, right? So can you imagine if all the population demand for your product, can you produce the 32 million quantity of product in 1 year? Of course, impossible, right? Because actually when you are a new firm, okay, you have limited of employee, you have limited of resources, and then you only have 1 or 2 factory or 1 machine, right? Sometimes the machine broke down, okay, maybe, so that is why it's impossible to satisfy the needs and want of all people. Okay, sometimes not all people need your product because everyone have their own needs and also desire. Okay, contoh yang mudah, okay, the easiest example that I can give is that you buy a cake, right? A whole cake, and then you bring to your family. Not every people, okay, not every member of your family really excited with the cake lah, because for example maybe your parents, maybe they are not really into eating cake because they want to cut down their sugar intake, okay, because you have to be careful lah, nak elak daripada diabetes, right? Or maybe because someone is already have about diabetes, they got diabetes, so of course lah they don't need the cake, okay, so they want to avoid that cake, so that's why lah. And then if you give the cake to the children, of course lah, the children will like it because they like sweet stuff, sweet foods, right? And so that's how lah. So daripada keluarga you sendiri pun you boleh nampak kan, contoh walaupun barang yang sama, tak semua ahli keluarga you nak ataupun perlukan satu barang tu. Ni contoh dia. Even though you produce a product, so not every customer in the market really need your product. So that is why we classify product into target market. Okay, and the second reason is because we have limited resources. Okay, we don't have a lot of time, we have limited in terms of money and capital, and then we have only a short amount a small amount of employees lah. Okay, especially if you are a new firm, you just start a business, okay, you are classified under small and medium enterprise, of course lah, you cannot produce a lot in 1 month. Okay, and then having said that, it does not mean that we ignore all other group. Okay, because they can also be a secondary market and may bring income. Okay, it's just that we just focus our marketing effort more to the target market. Okay, tapi ada juga lah customer yang luar target market akan beli. Okay, tapi at least kita tak target target market. Okay, so identifying target market how? First, of course, like the one I told you, you have to identify your product first, your what you produce. Okay, who are going to need it. Okay, and then focus on marketing efforts. You identify the market area that you want to sell, that you think can possibly buy your product, and then the business location. You can collect information in that area around the customer lah, or you can you can buy the data from any institution that already have that data. Okay, and then you segment the market, identified, and finally you make a sale forecast. It's something that an estimation or the expected sales potential from the selected target market. So it means that you can target lah whether in the next 2 months or 3 months how much revenue that you might get. Okay, so this is a very specific lah, a more detailed example from the human factors, right? Just now we talk about segmentation, and then under human factor we have geographic, demographic, and psychographic, right? So here is the detail. Okay, when we talk about geographic, we have district. We have certain, for example, we have in Kuala Lumpur only, in Putrajaya, in Kanga, in Arau, in suburban area or in urban area. Okay, those are example. And then residency, and then division, and then we have state. Okay, and then country. Macam state ni mungkin kadang-kadang small firm ni they only focus on their own country. Okay, for example, we have our country. Okay, maybe they will export to Japan, to China, to Brunei, to Thailand. Okay, that's how they make a classification or segmentation. And then we have the customer target customer will be people 20 years old, for example. Okay, and then occupation. Okay, they want to sell to people that really use their product. For example, laptop manufacturer. If the potential customer of course lah among student, among lecturers, among those who are working in an office, right? Akan dia nak jual dekat petani pula kan? Oh, petani tak guna pun komputer kan? Itulah contoh. And then psychography. Okay, you have different personalities, customer with different status, customer with different preferences, ego, hobbies, political attitude, sensitivities to price, motive of purchase, and also loyalty. For example, okay, sometimes we in Malaysia we are really quite sensitive to the price, right? So that's why when any brand or any shop or market when they have a promotion, okay, promotion day, like it's more like for example 50% off, 70% off. Of course lah, those who are under sensitivity to price, they will pay attention. Okay, they will more likely to spend on that day because they are quite sensitive to the price. If let's say the price is too high, they won't buy it. Okay, those are example lah. Okay, now how you want to make a sale forecast. Okay, this is the ni lah, the detail. Okay, so first is you have to determine the market size. Okay, and then after that you identify the competitors in that market. Okay, classify lah. Of course lah, every firm I believe they have competitors. Okay, because uh, semua produk ada barang pengganti kan. Contoh when we talk about bread, we have Gardenia, we have Massimo, we have ada produk lah ya, tak ingat nama-nama yang ni kan. Okay, and then when we talk about car, we have Toyota, Honda, Proton, Pro2, BMW, Mercedes kan. Those are example of competitors lah. Okay, after you identify the competitors in that market, and then you estimate the market share based on the strength of your competitors. Okay, let's say if you are producing food, okay, and then you can see lah in that area how many people are selling the same product. So from that you can make an estimation how many percent of that customer will buy your product. Okay, and then you can make forecast lah from that estimation. Okay, how much you can get per month. Okay, inilah this is the when you want to execute the marketing. Okay, when you want to promote your product, you need a strategy. So marketing strategy is a stage to determine whether the business is able to enter the market or compete with other people or competitors lah in the market and in the same business sector. So it involves the following marketing needs. Okay, we have four strategy, which is product and services strategy, pricing strategy, distribution strategy, promotion strategy. Okay, now let's look at one by one. Okay, when we talk about product strategy, for example, you might differentiate your product based on brand characteristic or quality. Okay, maybe because there are a lot of competitors in the market, so you want to attract customer attention. You want to make sure that your product is different from others. So you make a good packaging and interesting packaging. Okay, contoh macam recently we saw Pepsi, right? Pepsi in the packaging, right, in the bottle packaging, they put Blackpink members, right, on their bottle, so that they want to attract their customer to buy the product. They want to differentiate their product from the rest of the beverages in the fridge, right? So that is example lah. And then you might produce product that is easier to use. Okay, for example, some customer find that iPhone is quite difficult to use because it's not friendly. Okay, so that's why they move to Android smartphone. So Android smartphone, to many people assume that Android smartphone is easier to use. So that's why when the manufacturer will produce product that is different from competitors in order to attract customer. Okay, and then another strategy is pricing. You also can compete with competitors in terms of pricing. Let's say you can produce a product at a lower price, or you can sell your product at a cheaper price compared to the other competitors lah. So from that, the customer will pay attention to your product. You can attract a lot more customer, especially customer that is very sensitive to the price. Okay, and then distribution strategy. Sometimes you can make a distinction to your company based on how you distribute the product lah. For example, you can directly sell your product to the customer, or if you want to hire people to be the intermediaries, you can have an agent or wholesaler or retailer. Okay, for example, contoh kan, when we talk about the cosmetic product, right, the founder in Malaysia, they famously use the quote agent diperlukan. Pasal tak kan? Inilah yang maksudnya macam the way they are using this distribution strategy, whereby they will hire agents in order to have to be an intermediaries between you and the customer. So instead of selling directly to the customer, the agent will be on your behalf to contact the customer in order to do the transaction. And then finally, the final strategy is promotion. Maybe you can have a very interesting advertising in order to promote your product. Okay, maybe you provide the product and then you do a promotion, maybe 50% discount or 40% discount. And then if you want to attract more people, you can give a free gift. Okay, hadiah percuma kan, macam-macam. Buy one free one, buy one free two, right? Those are example. Okay, yang advertising ni, contoh terbaik lah akan give you. You can go to a YouTube and watch advertisement made by firm in Thailand, in Thai country, okay? Because the advertisement is, the storyline is very funny, okay? Even though, I don't know why they make that way, because maybe they want to attract the customer attention, kan? Even though they are selling a different product, okay? The storyline is not really related to the product, but then due to the funny content of the storyline, so people can easily recognize that advertising and also the brand that they introduce. So that is one of the strategy lah the company in Thailand use in order to attract customer. So they use a promotion strategy. Okay, now we look at the distribution channel, distribution strategy. Okay, kan strategi ni lah yang ketiga ni. Okay. Okay, some of the firm they sell directly to the consumer. Okay, some of the firm they need a retailer in between lah in order to promote their product and sell the product. And some other brand they use two intermediaries, which is a wholesaler, and then wholesaler will distribute their product to the customer. And then if consumer want to get the product, then consumer can go to retail shop to buy the product. Okay, for example, let's say if macam mana, macam when you want to buy bread, right? Macam you nak beli roti gardenia, you pergi ke kedai, ada tak you pergi you cakap I nak beli roti gardenia tapi pergi ke kilang roti gardenia, ada tak? Tak ada kan? Melainkan you nak buat kenduri ke apa. Tapi kalau let's say if you want to buy bread, okay, for example gardenia bread, of course you will go to a retail shop, right, kedai runcit, okay, instead of going to the factory of that gardenia itself, okay. And then finally, ini the final subsection lah. Final section, we have managing marketing activity, how we want to manage marketing activities. So you can either manage it in terms of using Gantt chart or also marketing budgets. So Gantt chart is actually it shows a table lah showing you the period and also what you do in that period. Okay. For example, okay, minggu, the first week you are doing a briefing, and the second week you do advertising, the third week you do a promotion, and then you have product launch, you have a visit, okay. I give you example lah. Sekejap. Ni. Nampak tak? Boleh tak kan? Ini Gantt chart lah. Example. Maybe, okay, the first month you have to do is planning until March. And then the following months, maybe you have design, okay? In April, you do a design. And then another month, you Gantt chart. Okay. And then another one is marketing budget. Okay, so you can make a budget lah. You can manage it through the budget. Okay, you put everything, every cost that you that you spend on the marketing lah, such as advertisement. Okay, medium of advertisement where you, what kind of medium that you use. For example, maybe if you promote your product through television, it will cost a lot lah, okay. And then it can either be in a radio or a newspaper or in social media, right? And then the salary that you pay to the personnel in charge of the marketing, you have marketing executive, you have marketing manager or marketing personnel, right? You have promotion, you give a discount, have to or a free product or free gift, okay. Then you can include it in the total cost for the marketing. So That's it. Settle. Uh, that's it for our chapter marketing. Do you have any questions? Almost 50 minutes of class. Ada soalan tak? Okay, no? Ngantuk ke apa? Okay ni, I